Ms. Ferguson, how many children do you have?
Well, I had 3, Your Honor. My son passed away in August, so I have 2 daughters now.
Did your son pass away as a result of an accident or an illness?
An accident.
Car?
No, ma'am. He was shot.
I ask you those questions because I've read your papers. The case is about this. You own a car. You let your daughter drive it. I assume that that's the daughter who was driving the car. You allege that the defendant, who was a friend of your daughter's, took the car when she had it with your permission. He took it without her permission and caused damage to the car. You want him to pay for it. You didn't want to put in claim through your insurance, and the reason you didn't want to put in a claim through your insurance is because your son totaled 2 of your cars, and your daughter has a reckless driving ticket already, and you were afraid that they would cancel your insurance or your rates would go all the way up. That's what I'm reading behind the lines in your complaint. And what I want to know is, why does your daughter have a car?
Your Honor, we live up in the mountains, and I work full-time as a sales coordinator for a Ready Mix, and I work a lot of hours. The girls' school's quite a distance, and Tia needs to be able to get the 2 of them to and from school. That's why she had a vehicle, and that's why she had the one that she had, so it was reliable going over the mountain.
Think Abe Lincoln.
Yes, ma'am.
If for some reason your children aren't able to act responsibly with a car, they shouldn't have a car. Because one day, instead of hurting a tree or instead of hurting a car, take your hand off your hip.
Sorry.
They're going to hurt somebody. So I was just wondering why she had custody of a car. And is what you're telling me, she has custody of a car because she takes a younger child to school? You allow her to take a younger child to school? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, Your Honor.
I would move on a bus line.
She no longer has a vehicle at this point. She has been excluded from my insurance policy as of this month.
That's going to be an adventure for you to try to keep her from taking your car anyway.
She's actually moved out here to California to live with her aunt now.
Oh, that's great. Now she's on a bus line. You can stand up. Your first name is?
Tia.
Tell me when the accident took place.
It happened July 7th, 2016, after a camping trip.
What took you a year to pursue this case, Ms. Ferguson?
Well, being a single mother, and Sonny has a single mother as well, I have this motherly heartstring that tends to get pulled, and trying to allow them to pay back according to the promise that was made to me the day that I did not press the charges against him.
Yeah, and also your daughter is out in California now.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you live?
Idaho Springs, Colorado, Your Honor.
Ms. Ferguson, this is not going to end well for you. You do understand that.
Sure.
Now, you were out, Mr. Cropper was a friend of yours, correct? Yes. And are you going to tell me that on the 7th of July, 2016, he took the car without your permission?
Yes,
Is
Your
that
Honor.
what you're going to tell me? Is that what you're going to tell me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that true, sir?
I did not take her car without her permission.
Of course not. You want to tell me what happened?
So we were packing up the morning after a camping trip, and her car was... We were all
Try not to
loading,
look over there.
We
Is
were
there
all
any
loading
reason-
into her car, sorry, Your Honor, and we were loading up our stuff, and her keys were in the ignition. And at this point, Patrick Sorensen was in the vehicle, and I had 2 other friends in the back.
I don't want you to
of the
look
car.
over there. I want you to look over here.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. And
Don't say you're sorry again. Just don't do it again.
I took the car, I got in the driver's seat. Tia saw me, there was no protest from her. And I took the car up, there's this little like hill. I realized that the terrain was too rough, so I went to turn it back around and I brought it down the hill. And then at this point, everyone who was with us got in the car. I was still driving. We stopped at McDonald's, everybody got out, and then got back in the car. I went to my house, and then me and Tia switched. She got in the driver's seat and drove away.
Okay.
And then about an hour later, I get a Facebook message with a picture of the damage to her car, and she was like, look at this damage, you need to fix the car. So I said, all right, come bring it down. You know, I looked at it, and I was like, how did this happen? It was significant enough damage to where the people in the car would have said something, we would have got out and checked it out, and somebody would have noticed it before an hour after it already happened, supposedly.
It doesn't matter. I believe that you had permission to drive the car, and her mother should have put it in through her insurance. And the fact that you chose not to put it through your insurance is your problem. He drove the car with your daughter's permission.
I don't believe that's true, Your Honor.
Oh, it's true. It's absolutely true. 100% true. Your case is dismissed. We're done.